How to create and edit events. Now, on to the major leagues. Again, we're just going over the basics, but even the basics can feel like a lot. Nonetheless, let's move on to creating and editing events. Using the tool panel on the left, click on Events. We'll start with creating an event first. This is the screen for creating and editing events. For the sake of this video, I'll be working with an event that has already been created and walking you through the process. I'll show you later how to make updates and edits. You'll find the tool panel for the different event editing screens on the left. When you are initially creating an event, it is in draft mode or unpublished. Once you have completed creating your event, click Publish, which is the blue button at the bottom of your screen. You can click Save or Save and Continue if you are not yet ready to have it published. Publishing it will make it visible for all to see. Scrolling back up, I want to go over a couple of items. Of course, it is important to title your event correctly. Try to make your event title very specific because you'll find that the more specific you are, the easier it will be to navigate to it later from different windows. It's also important to make sure you are placing your event in the correct location. You will only have access to post it in your respective groups because you only have admin privileges for your group. It's important to learn the various combinations that can be used to create an event. Once you have picked a combination and clicked Save, you cannot go back and change it. If you no longer want to use it, you will have to completely delete the event and start anew. Click on the question mark to provide you details on what each of these categories mean and what they allow you to do as you build out your event. For example, you can create service opportunities with the combination volunteer opportunity, recurring event, and shifts. This will determine how your scheduling will work. I'll be using a basic combination for this video, which will be volunteer opportunity, single day, no shift time slots. Fill in the following prompts for times and dates, participants, administrator of the event, and the description. All required fields are asterisked. The privacy setting allows you to determine how visible you want your particular event to be. You can make it visible to the entire St. John's network where it will show up for everyone to see or just your group. It is up to you. Again, click on the question mark to provide you more information. If your event is remote, make sure to provide the platform that it will be used on. The advanced screen will provide you with additional fields to fill out about your event and/or the organization that is connected to the event, such as logo and banner image, social media handles, websites, and more. The additional info tab is helpful in providing spaces to input requirements associated with the event, such as background checks, paperwork, parking details, or additional information. In the causes section, try to connect the service with a theme, as I like to call it. Consider what areas of service does this event support? What population is this geared towards? How would you characterize the work that is being done? You should pick at most 3 causes that highlight the major themes of this event. The registration settings screen is pretty self-explanatory. This screen will assist you in setting up a registration time period, cancellation deadline, connecting it to an external registration if need be, and more. The cool thing about GivePulse is it will give you a description under each question to help you understand what it's asking and how you'd like to set it up. You can also customize the registration questions or custom fields. On the registration question screen, you'll be able to create different questions or custom fields that you'd like answered in the registration process. Don't worry about creating custom fields that ask basic questions like what's your name or email. That information is attached to all student users. It's also a default field of the system. You may want to ask questions like, how did you find this opportunity? Or what's your t-shirt size? Disclaimer, always check through to see if there is a custom field for the question or header you want to use. We want to make sure we're not making duplicates. Now, if you add an already pre-existing custom field, do know that you have to use it as is. Meaning, if you make an edit to it, it will change that custom field wherever else it exists and is being used throughout the entire network to whatever changes you made. Imagine changing the same one question by even the slightest word and changing it in all other events that it's coded into. Be diligent in looking to see if what you're looking for exists and also that you are not making changes to pre-existing fields. All other screens are pretty self-explanatory. It really is a matter of running through the motions and trying it out. Read everything and feel free to ask questions where need be. I'm an email away. Try to always share your impact information with organizations you're affiliating with or for which your events are affiliated with. That way we can capture this data at a later time. Again, follow the directions provided about custom fields that I mentioned for the registration screen. It's the same thing, just this time it's for impacts. An impact is the GivePulse umbrella term to describe all potential forms of community engagement. An impact can be described as funds donated, funds raised, goods donated, hours trained, and most often volunteer hours served. We'll go over impacts later and how to submit them through this training. So these questions or custom fields should be targeted towards how the user felt about or their general feedback about the event, service opportunity, fundraiser, training, or whatever event you created. You can disable impacts if you'd like. Again, check the custom fields first before creating one to see if it exists and if it can be used. As mentioned before, there are some default impact questions created by the system no matter what. Keep an eye out for those questions or custom fields so you don't duplicate them. The settings screen will show you questions just generally about the setup and layout of your screen. So just make sure to read through all of the questions to get clarification on what it's asking. So let's say you're about done with creating your event, but you don't necessarily want to publish it right away. That's cool. Make sure to click on Save to save all that you've done so far. On your left-hand tool panel, click on Dashboard and click View to see what the event will look like from the front end. This is what all users will see when they come to this page. Like it so far? If you'd like to continue editing it further, remember you have a tool panel on your right. You can expand this for additional management functions. Clicking Edit will take you back to the editing screen to make changes. On the left tool panel, you can also click on Dashboard again, and it will take you to the event dashboard. This event dashboard provides you similar functions like that which we saw when we were making edits to our group, but this is geared more towards events. Here you can publish the event, close it, delete, and if your event has since passed but you'd like to reopen it and use it again, you'll be able to find an open button with an open key symbol in the same place as the publish and close button. Now, let's go back to the group so we can see how you can manage events. A shorthand is to click on your group name at the top of the screen. Using our left tool panel again, click on Events and click Manage Events. Here, you'll see all your events that you have created, upcoming, past, published, and unpublished. Scroll to the right, which will allow you to view the action button that will allow you to see further action buttons such as editing, publish, unpublish, delete, and more. Remember your configuration layout? Use that to shift and change what this looks like. I recommend that you try to create your event in such a way that it can be reused multiple times so that you don't see hundreds of events listed here. It's easier on the eyes. Now that you've published your event, voila, you've learned something new. Take a moment to go over these steps in your own group. Make sure to keep everything unpublished for now as you practice.